Hello children, how are you all? Fine, that's no, and that's very good, and it's very good to see the smile on your faces. And today we are going to talk about information and communication technology in the future class. As we have been talking about technology, integration of technology in the classroom teaching, technology as such is a wide subject, but specifically when we talk about technology here, we are talking about information and communication technology. And as we have seen that ICT has been, is in use all around the world because of various reasons, we will today discuss how information and communication technology will be used in future classroom. And a very revolutionary example you have seen in the form of Ultimate Edu, where they have used wonderful ways of keeping the learners and the teachers connected, even if they are in the class or outside the class. So they are connected. Now, the reasons why there is ICT revolution, you can say that educators are deploying ICT to improve the quality of instructions. You can find a big difference in classroom teaching when you talk some ICT resource in the classroom, whether it is in the form of Ultimate Edu or it is in the form of interactive whiteboard or something else. Even if you use a software like PowerPoint, a wonderful presentation with lots of hyperlink connecting to various web resources can make a very impressive learning in the class. So there is a growing use of ICT by educators, teachers across the globe, because it has been seen in research studies that it is engaging students. It is giving them lots of learning, and students also take lots of interest when they learn using technology. Fine. So it has, become, you can say, the very essential feature of today's learning in the classroom. Now, when we go to the next slide, we talk about, you can see this is the scene today in many of the good schools and colleges where students sit with their iPads or their laptops, computer systems, and everything, the instructions. If we have something like Ultimate Edu, we can have a wonderful learning in the classroom using our own mobiles, iPads, and laptops. So this is the revolution because of ICT in teaching learning. Now you can see the interactive whiteboard here. Interactive, the word itself explains its meaning, that it is interactive. You can interact using the resource with your learners. What the interactive whiteboard is, it is something like this, which you have seen in the class. And what is the interesting thing about the interactive board? That the entire laptop is focused on the interactive board, and with the help of this pen out here, this is the pen, the stylus kind of structure, you can touch anywhere on the screen, and whatever file, whichever document, PowerPoint presentation, or the website like Ultimate Edu you want to open on the screen, you just have to touch it and it will open. So it is interactive. You can navigate anywhere on web with interactive whiteboard. So what we do, we connect the computer system or laptop to the interactive board, and this laptop, first of all, computer, is connected to the projector again to the interactive board, and this is how all the three are connected, so that the computer, whatever is there on your laptop, with the help of the projector, is projected on the interactive whiteboard. So it becomes very easy for a teacher to teach with the help of interactive board. Then we have document cameras. It looks something like this. This is a very important document camera, which you can see is an indispensable teaching tool. Whatever object, even if you are not prepared with what you call the resource, you can keep a book, or you can keep any diagram which you want to highlight in the class. Keep it here, and the lens, the document camera, magnifies it and throws it with the help of projector on the screen. So it is very essential. Even it can give you the feeling of a three-dimensional object. You can keep a 3D object here and it will be displayed. And these cameras are used to project the things onto the projection screen, interactive whiteboard, plasma television and computer, as you can see. Now the projector. If there's no projector, there's no projection. You would have seen projectors being used in the classroom like this, seminars, workshops, or big functions to project the presenter's views to you. And it becomes very easy for the audience to understand everything if it is projected. Many of the people can see, lots of learners can have a bigger view of what otherwise has been not very much clear to the learners. So it has really revolutionized classroom teaching. The modern classrooms are only because of the projector, and it is the ICT device used to display information which is stored in your laptop, in your computers. The PowerPoint which I have made and which I'm using to teach you something about information and communication tools is only being projected with the projector. So it's a wonderful learning device in the classroom. Now there are many systems here which keep you abreast with what is going on in the surroundings, and these big screens, digital screens which you would have seen in your classroom, they comprise of flat, high-definition interactive panels such as plasma or liquid crystal display screens, and many times you would have seen them in your corridors of the college or in canteens where immediate information is shown on the screen. If you are all in the canteen and there is some important program or announcement being made in the auditorium, you can just read the notice from the principal, the admin, and you can at the same time, within no time you can go to the venue. So these are the important things. You can see that all important bulletin, alert, messages, videos, visual images, warning messages, special messages, any sort of content can be shown through these digital screens. Now, the important thing for us is the ICT based educational content. We as teachers need to know much about it, because as we are informed about what ICT resources can be used in the classroom and in what ways, then only we can achieve success in teaching in the classroom and achieving our objectives. Now there is a paradigm shift from traditional to ICT-based educational content, as you can see this. And in previous lectures, when we studied about a comparison of plant and animal cell, eukaryote or a prokaryotic cell, we used ICT-based contents which are very easily used, and they give a very clear picture. Instead of drawing a diagram that takes at least 5 minutes, for a teacher, you can use a well-prepared diagram here. You can highlight it. And there are educational content. They may be in the form of visual images, audio, video, with sound and animations. So it has the multimedia features which are very important for teacher to keep class alive. Because when you have such fun things in the classroom, interesting things in the classroom, it saves the class being dry and drab, and it really makes your class very interesting. Whereas students are also keen to learn more and more from you, because this is a change. So there is a paradigm shift due to ICT-based material. It helps in generating interest in the students towards the dry and difficult subjects. Now many times the concepts are very difficult. Some of the laws which students cannot otherwise understand. For example, if you ask them to visualize a 3-dimensional model of methane, say that methane is here and the 4 hydrogen bonds are at the corners of a tetrahedron. Now, even as a chemistry student, it was difficult for me to close my eyes and visualize how methane molecule looks like. But ICT-based contents, materials have really made it very easy and simple for the students to understand the very basic concepts and foundations which are the first steps of learning. So I think that way it has really been a big boon. Now, it also has high quality. For example, you can see it very clear on the screen. It will be there with you forever. You can save it in your laptops, in your systems, and there is no question of turning it pale. You know, papers, if you keep, they turn pale after some time. You cannot preserve them for a long time, or you just cannot save them from getting crushed or being destroyed. But here, as ICT material, you can keep it for as long as you want, and you can even communicate, can transfer the same, can send the same to your friends, students all across the globe. And the multimedia educational content improves the student memory and engagement in the classroom, as we have been talking about it. Because definitely, if you show something interesting which will make the difficulties easy, students will love to learn, and students will love to, understand more by that method. It has also made a learning environment more interactive, synergetic, and informative. Now, whatever information explosion has taken place because of the Web 2.0 tools coming in, that has really made learning very essential, that it takes place through ICT. Now, this is very, very interesting thing which can be used in classroom, that is audience response systems. Many times, students are very much hesitant to express what difficulties they have in the class. So, teacher, and keeping that problem, to everyone, and asking students, motivating students to respond to your various questions. You can use it for voting. You can use it for knowing the difficulties, the percentage of difficulties they faced in learning that particular topic, or how many of them really like the subject, and the names will always remain hidden, and teacher can understand. Otherwise, if somebody says, raise their hands, okay ma'am, no, there is some difficulty, or even if students ask more questions in the class, we as teachers, get frustrated and irritated very soon. But as a true teacher, we have to welcome their queries, their problems, and we have to give them chance for more and more interaction. But this audio response system, can be used for better understanding in the class, that what they have been able to understand and what not. Now, this is what I talked about ICT class. This is what I visualize maybe ICT class look like. There will be individual attention given to the students. You can see the classes here arranged, in different tables. These are the tables where laptops are being placed. There are big screens all around. Students can be seated comfortably. They can interact in a group. They can have a good brainstorming kind of pedagogy. They can interact among themselves, and the teacher, can display anything around. So wherever they turn around or wherever they are seated from there, they have a clear view of what is being projected on the screen. And when we go further, we can see that these are some of the points which I have tried to conclude out of the presentation, that every student will have an access to the word of information and instruction that is right in front of them. And then the classroom will be fully digitized, as we are trying to do this. If we have Ultimate Edu and resources like this in our classroom, it is automatically digitized because we are using all digital technology resources in the classroom. So these are the future things which we'll have in the future classroom. Maybe it is the e-pads or stylus being used. Classroom will be completely devoid of paper, and I think this will be a big achievement to keep our environment clean and green. Then e-pad technology will definitely give students relief, from the heavy weight they carry daily to the classrooms. Now the future teacher will use smart boards, as we are already using, and lectures will have access to required websites like Ultimate Edu. Everything is becoming true. The lectures are accessed by the students. You can see this lecture, you can view this lecture later on. And even language will not be a problem, because we'll have a device which will automatically translate. Even if I'm delivering my lecture in English, the machine will translate it in the native language, and all of the learners can can hear me, can understand me. So I hope, children, that you would have definitely liked the presentation and you will learn from it. If you are not able to understand, you just use the mail of Ultimate Edu. Let me know about your problems, and I think we can do better in this way. Next, what I was trying to tell you is something about the technology. Somebody says that electricity is the problem. Use solar panels in the schools, and you will see very soon, because solar panels are in increase. So there will be no shortage of electricity. I say where there is will, there is way. So we need to stay determined, we need to stay hopeful, and we should learn to enjoy life as it comes to us. Hope that all of you would have enjoyed this lesson. Go to it as many times as you want, and yes, don't forget to do the assignment. That is also very interesting, and I feel that you will love doing it. So if you are not able to understand, keep in mind that you will ask questions in the class, or you can post it to me later on. How did you like the class? How did you like the presentation? And whether you liked me? I would like to know all from you. Have a nice day.